Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with the final episode of the final chapters of the final season of Attack on Titan. So I hope it's been a good 24 hours for you. I hope you left all the comments about why I'm wrong and I'm a terrible piece of shit. I will promptly ignore those comments, so just so we're on an understanding. I don't know, man. Like I feel like we all got better things in our lives than this. I don't know, but here we are. Last time on Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapter, special one. There was a lot of talking and not a lot of showing. And I'm not sitting here like, oh, there needs to be more action. It's like, no, there's just a lot of talking and nothing really being accomplished by it, you know? And it's just talking that didn't need to be there. You could have done all of this with so fewer words. But anyway, Hanji's dead. The gang has made it to Eren. People are dead. Falco might be flying, and Annie might be flying. And I guess that's that. Onyankopon is flying too. He's more of gliding though now. But yeah. Anyway, it's just a couple hours later. Honestly, it's like maybe 1 hour, an hour and a half later for me. I don't know. Let's just finish it. And let's try to get as much good out of this as we can. As much as we can. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comments for your viewing pleasure. So let's just go ahead and jump right into Attack on Titan, the final season, the final chapters, special number 2, the final episode, the grand finale. Here we go. Fucking done. Thank God. I'm done with Attack on Titan. I can get this burden off of my life. That was the most complicated way of accomplishing nothing. Thank God. That was the most complicated thing you could possibly do to, in the grand scheme of things, achieve nothing. Not even like you didn't even accomplish something. Like, this didn't bring about world peace for 1,000 years, because the Jaeger is still militarized anyway. And it's not like he really gave... He, like, half gave his friends freedom. I mean, they are completely free to do whatever they want. They can go fuck off, basically, you know? But he knew what they were going to do, which is become the heroes of the world. Thanks. And you can live long enough to see yourself doing that. Thanks for that. I mean, I guess to be fair, like, let's take Jean, for example. Jean is completely free to go after any woman he wants. But does he? No. No, he'll still, he'll still go after Mikasa. Despite the fact that Peak is right there and doesn't have a crazy ex-boyfriend that she'll still pine over 4 years after she literally had to murder him. Yeah, I know we can get into any sort of philosophy or whatever about why Eren did all of this, but I mean, at this point it's just like, why does anyone do anything, you know? Why does anyone do anything? Why do these conflicts happen, you know? This isn't exclusive to Eren, it's just, why do these conflicts happen? Like, you can go into any of his reasoning or anything that happened or any whatever, but it just boils down to, this is what humanity does. Like, it's almost a thing of, like, we're going through this whole thing to show you that nothing is special. You know? Like, this whole thing is basically, like, oh, you liked Eren and his cool, edgy powers and stuff, but it's like, Eren wasn't special. Eren wasn't special. Now, the implication that Mikasa is special, that all of this is because Ymir wanted to be freed from King Fritz, and the only person in 2,000 years that she could do that with is Mikasa. Kind of weird, but whatever. Nobody's special. Nobody's special. And it's just a big old fucking idiot. And you know, with that, and I've said, you know, it's like, oh, he's just a child, you know, which he basically confirms. He's an idiot who is given too much power, you know. He's a child that was given power, you know. Man, we had to go through this entire friggin' series to lead to that point, when you know the way better way of bringing that lesson home is by getting slapped in the face by Reagan Arataka of Mob Psycho. Like, between episodes, when I was eating lunch, I was watching a video about Mob Psycho Season 1, which is hilarious because, you know, if you're watching this in the playlist, first of all, congratulations, you are amazing for putting up with my garbage throughout, especially through Season 4 of this show. But if you're watching this, it's like, yeah, you know, it's been so long since the dawn of humanity that it's like, I've watched so many series, but Mob Psycho is one of them. This literally is just that. It's literally almost the same message, basically. Like, nothing's special. No one is special, you know? There are connections you can make, and that can be special to you, but nobody themselves is special, you know? And a lot of fighting is useless, you know? Pretty much all fighting is useless. But it's amazing that we took an entire near-world genocide in this anime to bring home that lesson, when fucking Reagan Arataka could just do that in the first season of Mob Psycho, too. This will always be the Attack on Titan shot glass now. Even though it has nothing to do with Attack on Titan. So, if anyone doesn't remember, this is a shot glass with the nuclear bomb Fat Man on it, and it says Fat Man. And I started putting this on the table because that's what I called the Colossal Titan back at the beginning. I called them Fat Man and Little Boy, the Colossal and Armored Titans. And then, when characters started dying, I started drinking to their deaths. And now I'll always think of that. And I'll always have this. I hope. I hope I'll always have this. And I'll always remember Fucking Attack on Titan. It's also, we talk about Mob Psycho, it's the end of Breaking Bad. He says, why did he do this? Because he wanted to. That's just the end of Breaking Bad. He wanted to. He wanted to do it. And he was good at it. Oh my god. I don't know, man. You know, I mean, my problems that I have with this final season... I mean, look... I think my problem is just, it feels a little too forced. You know? Like, it doesn't feel like we naturally came to this ending, you know? I think at the end of the day, that might just be it. Because this ending is not bad. This isn't like the end of Game of Thrones, you know? Where that was a legitimately bad ending, you know? This isn't necessarily a bad ending. Even this whole season, you know, it's still good. I think my problem is it's forced. That's real. Oh my god, that's really it. You know, speaking of Game of Thrones, though, one problem with that is they rushed. Now, this was not rushed. Mappa made sure that wasn't rushed, but with Game of Thrones, like, that was rushed. And while they had an end goal in mind, I remember I watched a YouTube video that said, you know, they had endings for all of these characters, but those characters had evolved past those endings, you know? Sure, those are the endings in the book, but the characters, they're not being led to that ending anymore, you know? Because the characters have taken on a life of their own throughout the series. And I feel like maybe that's slightly the case here, where you can tell this last episode, this is where the author wanted to get to. But to me, I just don't think it works. Like, I mean, it works because, again, it's like, it's not a bad ending. It's not a bad ending. But it doesn't feel like we naturally came to this conclusion, you know? It doesn't feel like we naturally came to this end point. It feels like, especially at the beginning of Season 4, after the mystery has been dispelled of the basement and what's going on, which that in and of itself is not terrible, but after that, Eren completely changes, you know? And I guess you could say that's part of the point, that Eren is forced to change this. But the fact that Eren Yeager is robbed of any agency he has, you know? Any and all agency he has, I just don't think that was the right move, you know? Like, the fact that pretty much once, you know, at the medal ceremony, as soon as he kisses Historia's hand, that's it. His character is completely gone, you know? All of his agency is gone and out the window, you know? All of his character development, all of his growth, if he had any, you know? And again, that is a problem with Season 2 and Season 3, that Eren is not the main character. He's just a plot device, you know? But I think that's it. It does not feel like we naturally came to this point, you know? And I think that's why, you know, in the last episode we talked about, you know, there's a lot of tell, don't show, when there should be a lot of show, don't tell. And I feel like that's part of it. I feel like that's part of it, that, you know, the author, he keeps having to tell you these things. I need to tell you about Eren. I need to tell you these things. I need to have an entire conversation that Eren and Armin have that will bring back, you know, they had this earlier, but now we have it here, and we have to, you know, really talk and talk and you know, and all of this stuff. And it's like, because he needs to get to this ending. He needed to get to this ending. This is the ending he came up with. But the ending he came up with, while it may be the ending that we were going to when this started, we did not get here properly. And I think that's my problem, especially with season 4. That there's such a difference between season 4 and the 3 previous seasons, because it feels like the final season, we have to get going in order to get to this. And it's weird to say, because it's certainly not rushed. It's certainly not rushed, It's certainly not rushed, but it's forcibly getting us to the ending, where we see the tree with Aaron's grave, and, time passes, thousands of years pass, until eventually, there's just the ruins of civilization again, and just a boy and his dog make it to, they find the tree that holds Aaron's grave, Like, that's what he wanted to get to. That's what he wanted to get to, but he didn't get there naturally. And I guess you can say this is sort of maybe this is the argument for and against planning. Because the argument in favor of planning, I mean, there's the obvious example. There's the Star Wars sequels, where there was absolutely no plan. They just wanted to make a new trilogy. And that crashed and burned, But, on the other hand, we were talking about Breaking Bad, which, and I'm sure there are some people that are like, oh my god, shut the hell up about Breaking Bad. But honestly, I feel like there are so many apt comparisons, especially between Walt and Aaron, where Breaking Bad did not have a plan, Breaking Bad did not have a plan, but it let the characters evolve, Like, the team behind it kept bringing, even if they didn't have an end goal in mind, they figured out what are the next steps, And yeah, I think the argument against an ending would be Game of Thrones, Because again, it's not bad. It's not bad to have your ending in mind. It's not. It is a good thing. But you have to let your characters get there. I mean, here's another example. Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul had an ending from the beginning. Now, maybe not every piece of its ending, but what it had that it needed to reach was Breaking Bad, It needed to reach the point of Breaking Bad where Jimmy McGill is just Saul Goodman, and, he acts a certain way that's not present at the beginning of Better Call Saul. And so, but they naturally let that develop. There's a clip of Vince Gilligan saying, at what point does he start saying Saul Goodman? And is that the point that the show ends? And it wasn't, They knew they had that goal in mind. Not exactly the ending of Jimmy's story, but they had that point that they had to get to. But they spent 6 seasons, basically, letting Jimmy evolve naturally to that. And I think that's the problem. I think the problem is this was too forced. That we needed to get to that ending and let everything else be damned, basically, That's why we have to talk so much about this, so you understand, You have to understand Aaron had no choice, or all of this, or he really feels bad, but he had to do it. He forced, the one Titan. It's time travel, by the way. Let's not get into that, though. But even still, It's like, And especially, too, because Season 4 becomes such a different story from the first 3 seasons, you know? They're practically 2 different shows, you know? So I just feel like it... I don't know. But the rest of the stuff... I don't know what time I started yapping, but... the rest of the stuff... the action was great. The action was really, really great. I love seeing the former 9. I mean, there were more than 9, but the former users of the 9 Titans showing up. That was really cool. So I thought they were gonna imply that Annie was gonna fly, but again, they really... I don't know. Did I mishear that line? I don't know. But it was cool that Falco could fly. That was nice. Even as the Jaw Titan, you know? So... but he said he also got... It's not because he was the Jaw Titan, but because he was given the spinal fluid of Zeke that he took on properties of the Beast Titan. So... But yeah, but I love that. I love seeing all of them. Seeing all of those really cool designs. That was really cool. And seeing them, you know, reclaim their individuality. You know, seeing Grisha, you know? Which... I don't know. I feel like there should have been a bit more with Grisha. Like, he didn't really talk that much, if at all. But, I don't know. That was interesting. You know? I don't know. But that was interesting. I love when they're trying to point out which of the Titans has Armin. And they're just... It's that pig thing. What is like... Well, I don't know. It might be an Attack Titan. It might be the Beast Titan. Or it might be the Cart Titan. Or it might be the Jaw Titan. And he's like, that's not helping! It's like that. I don't know why that was a really funny moment. So... And then, you know, it's like, oh, it's that one. And she looks like, oh, it's an Okapi. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Just making up words. So that was fun. Zeke's whole thing, where, you know, it's like, oh, we need to find the little moments, the meaning, you know? What is the meaning of life and stuff? And it's like, oh, it's those little moments that you live for, you know? That was interesting, you know, but again, that's one of those things where it's like, all right, here comes Christopher Nolan busting out the textbook. Let's talk about, you know, what is the purpose of life? And it's like, oh my god. But that was interesting still. I like, you know, he gets over basically his suicidal nature where he's like, you know, if I could, if it means I get to play catch a bit more, then I would be born again, you know? And I love that he manages to get himself out and immediately calls for Levi. Because he knows, and without any hesitation, Levi swings over and kills him. Finally, fulfilling his last order from Erwin. So that was good. I also love the moment, even though this is partly my stupidity, but it's just, I love Armin talking to Bertolt and is like, oh, I took everything, your power, you know, your life, your girl. It's like, he didn't say that, but it's like, you did though. You did though. That was amazing. He's rizzed up Annie like nobody's business, man. I was kind of hoping at the end, when he was, you know, when he was giving his name to the guy, when he was, you know, defending them, it's like, oh, we don't have Titan powers, and it's like, oh, who are you? I was hoping he would say Armin Arlert, 15th commander of the Scout Regiment, you know? That fucking worm, though. That worm, I am kind of glad we don't get any explanation. The worm kind of, like, derails this a little bit, I will say, because it's, like... Because it's the whole thing of, like, oh, well, It's the whole thing of... What am I getting? Oh, because there's the whole thing about there's nothing special about anything that's going on. This is just, conflict, humanity, and it all will repeat itself. And also there's a giant evil worm thing. So, there's that. There was that too. Fucking evil worm thing. Trying to get back to Eren. I don't know. I will say, though, there is something cool. I like the concept of, like, some ancient evil from long ago in a sort of modern day battle, which we kind of had that a bit in at the end of season 4 with the Battle of Shiganshina. But I do kind of like that idea of this ancient, creature in the middle of this battle where there's already chaos and hell and everything, and then we have to fight with our modern technology. We have to fight this ancient creature. I don't know. But they did it. Mikasa killed Eren. I will say, too, I feel like another side effect of this is Eren, like, not... I don't know how to put this, but, like, I know Eren, talked a bit during, like, the battle and stuff, but the fact that they never cut to him, we didn't really get the, the moment of him, inside the Titan, like, we don't see that until the ending when she cuts his head off, and he doesn't say anything or anything, but, then we get this scene with him and Armin, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like that's part of it, where it's like, we're not going to see Eren in this final battle whatsoever, But the curse is gone. The curse of Ymir is gone. Everyone can go live good lives, I guess. Historia had her baby. That farm dude is married to his beautiful queen waifu. I also love the moment. It's like, this is what we were supposed to do because we're scouts, and then he's like, but I was military police. And it's like, anyway, it's like, Annie, stop! Don't point out flaws in what he's saying. That was funny. I love Annie. I don't know. Do I even need to talk anymore? I don't know. I gotta pee. It's been 2 hours. I'm kind of tired, and that's it. We are done. Oh, god damn it, I just remembered that they announced that the author is doing another 18 pages as like an epilogue of the story or some shit. Fucking hell. Mappa is pissed. Mappa finally got this done. The final season, the final chapters, part 2, the grand finale. This motherfucker announces 18 more pages. God damn it. I don't think I'm gonna care. A, I doubt that'll get any sort of an adaptation. B, I don't care. I'm done. We kept talking about freedom, and I am free of Attack on Titan. But what did you think? What did you think of the end of Attack on Titan? Am I completely wrong? I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. Who gives a shit? We all got better things to do with our lives anyway. But that is it. What a series. What a mind-bending series. An exhaustingly long series and an exhaustingly long season. Was it worth it? Well, the animation was great from both studios. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video if you managed to stick all the way through. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all my Attack on Titan reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.